Peace world, welcome or welcome back. This is an unplanned and unscheduled live. 1 o'clock in the morning. Not expecting anyone or much of anyone, but if you're in the replay, you might want to skip ahead. I'm going to give it a second. Taking it back old school, late night. No face, just me talking my shit. Give me a minute. No mods. If you bold, come through. What you got? What you want to say? All right, I'm going to get into this. This is for my replay, my warriors.
God is dawn. Like and subscribe. Comment some night. Loving this light. This God is dawn. God is dawn. God is dawn.
All right, peace world. Welcome. I have a few things I want to talk about. First of all, shout out to all my Aquarians. It's Aquarius season as of the 20th. My warrior mod, Miss Kim, it's her birthday on Valentine's Day. She's an Aquarius. Shout out to her. And Aquarius season represents big change, big dick energy, baby. But I'm going to get into that stuff a little later. But that does go into the fact that we have a change in power with the new president. It's been a minute since I've been live, so I'm just going to touch on a couple things. Last time I was live, I think that whole mess that happened at the Capitol building took place after that. Yeah, after the fact. So I haven't even been live since. So yeah, I look at those people as homegrown terrorists. They came from the hills for the most part, except for the ones, obviously, that were working behind the scenes in Congress, in law enforcement, in the legal arena. Like it was a whole collusion, kind of like these YouTube streets, which I'm also going to talk about. So hang tight and give me a minute to warm up. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about these streets. It's always hot. I'm finding myself always coming in here to say it's hot in these YouTube streets, but it's always hot because the fire is intentional. That's why it's never out. It's an intentional fire. We're going to talk about it. But yeah, we got a new president. What do we expect from our new president? I don't really expect much of anything, to be honest with you. I know that people are happy because the stimulus checks might flow a little faster, a little easier, a little more. But with those stimulus checks, are you willing to get vaccinated? Some of you guys are anxious to get vaccinated. Some of y'all have already been vaccinated. I don't plan on getting vaccinated. So if they restrict me from getting the stimulus or being able to travel or whatever else, I'm gonna have to figure it out. But I have all the faith in my God and my tribe and me individually. Let's see. So we were talking about Biden and the expectations. I don't know if y'all have any. but it's never smart to put any expectations into play anyway. He's mobbing in with his family right here. You know that the previous person in power, 45, and his wife, I almost called her a robot, and his wife, they didn't do the traditional transfer of power. You know, the things that they typically do to help the new administration, you know, come into play. But they kind of left them on their own. But they mobbing in, looking confident, looking good. But again, I don't have any expectations, and you know, we'll have to see what it do. Kamala Harris as vice president. Usually that role we don't pay too much attention to, but because she is who she is, we're looking at her, and we're gonna, you know, be probably grading her on what she does and what she doesn't do. She didn't have a great reputation here in California as a senator. Her numbers for locking away innocent people, or even innocent, I would even say just Black people, Black men, is great. So I don't know. People have expectations that aren't so positive for her because of that. But it's always best to stay on the sunny side of things. Don't tell me all 6 of y'all not bold enough to come in the chat and say what's up. It's all good. All right. So I also wanted to touch on the Keisha Cole versus Ashanti versus real quick, just before I get into what I'm really here to talk about. Basically, I didn't watch it, but I did see, I saw the clips after the fact, and I like both of these sisters. I really was a fan of Ashanti, but I feel like Ashanti was more, she's a writer, but she's not a singer. She's not someone I look to as a solo. Hi, baby. The truth is here. She's showing up for me. What you doing up this early, Ma? It's got to be, what, 4 a.m., something like that? Maybe 3 a.m. where you're at. I appreciate you. So, yeah, let's see. Ashanti, yeah, so she's, she was like the hook girl, but then come to find out, she actually wrote the songs. Let me actually pull her up here. This is, for my replay, like I said, unplanned, live, late night. It's like 1 a.m. here in LA. Let me pull up this little picture here. Give a little visual. So I don't know how many of y'all watched the verses. Are you even interested in the versus battles at all? I know when they first started up, it was new and it was like something to do. We were just fresh in the quarantine situation. Washing dishes at 3 a.m. That's what I'm talking about, getting it done no matter what. That's that big dick Aquarius energy. But anyway, yeah, it's a good look. It's a good look for the community, but when you have an anticipated event, we got 2 successful, beautiful, strong Black women here, yet the outcome of it was like disappointing, I guess you could say. And I'm only saying just because of the negative feedback. There were audio issues, I was told. Well, first and foremost, I guess they were late. Both of them were late. They said Ashanti was like anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour late, and then Keisha Cole showed up like an hour and a half late. And then when she did show up, she had attitude. People trying to say she was sniffing on a little salt. I don't know. Allegedly. Giselle, Chicago's in the building. Yes. Thank you. What's up, Wow Wayne? I got a mod here. I ain't seen you in a minute. Well, I haven't been here. But I've seen you, just not over here. I've seen you everywhere, Wayne. But I appreciate you, as always, my warrior brother. Thank you for being here. All right. So, as I was saying, Keisha Cole, Ashanti, a mess. You know what I mean? Like, why can't we just have something? You know, they always want the word is that it was sabotaged. Allegedly, and I don't think that's true, but I think that we need to start showing up, man. Like, you know what I think? I'm just going to use my intuition here. My thoughts on this is that Keisha was hella nervous. She, you know, I don't want to say she was drunk and high because everybody was saying that, but I just want to say that she used her nerves. She didn't use her nerves for the better. She leaned into her nerves and leaned into the fear, as opposed to using that fear and that nervous energy in a better way. Like, you know, you got to use it to fuel you and to lift you, not to, you know, if you lean into the actual darkness of it, the shadows, it's going to swallow you up every time. So now here she is apologizing after the fact for being late. And then she blamed the audio and she blamed the fact that I don't know what she was blaming. Honestly, I really don't care. I just wanted to touch on it. If you have any comments about it, leave them in the comments if this is the replay for you. So yeah, let's move on. R. Kelly. All right. So who's here for the R. Kelly talk? Look, first and foremost, I want to just give a quick update on his actual trial, that the upcoming the federal Illinois trial that's coming up. There was a status hearing on Tuesday, December 22nd, and he was not present. I'm just going to read actually from the court site. All right, so let's see. Minute entry before the Honorable Harry D. Leinenweber. Let me twist the screen. This is for just to keep things on point here. Hold on, y'all. Give me 2 seconds. I'm a one-woman show here. All right. I don't think I saved the document. I just printed it. So I'll just read it. Telephonic status hearing held. Defendants waive appearances. Jury trial is set for 9/13/21 at 10 a.m. As to all defendants, parties to file a joint proposed jury questionnaire or competing proposed jury questionnaires on or before 7/29/21. Telephonic status hearing set is for 8/12/21 at 10 a.m. to discuss the jury questionnaire. Okay. Motions in limine to be held by 8/30/21. Responses to be filed by 9/6/21. Telephonic status hearing is set for March 25th, 21 at 10 a.m. Over the objection of defendant McDavid and upon the agreement of defendants Kelly and Brown, time is excluded to 9/13/21 pursuant to, and then it gives the statutes the codes, in the interest of public and the interest of justice and for the reasons stated on the record. All right, so they basically broke it down. We are moving forward here, even though it's towards more the end of the year, but I mean, it's going to happen. We got the New York trial this April, right? And the jury activity is going to be going on in March. That's right around the corner. And the state case is just kind of stalled at the moment because of the federal cases being the priority. And I believe also they're still probably waiting on things, but because of the federal cases, it's kind of parked right now. So, you know, he has a lot going on. People are still defending him, as we know. I'm sure most of you listening to me, are aware of all of the talk about R. Kelly and all of that. I know the truth, if you're still here, you had a video. I was in the car and I heard some of it. And you were talking about, oh my God, just went foggy. I'm gonna come back to that because you made a point about it that I wanted to touch on. However, there's a lot of activity in these YouTube streets in the R. Kelly sector specifically. And I want to encourage people who are engaged to really, really, really intake all this stuff with a grain of salt. I know that some people, there's just so much going on, but I know that people, a lot of you subscribers, a lot of you in the audience watch and listen, and you have an affinity for more this person versus that one, or, these people versus these and all of that. But I'm going to tell you, it's all one show, baby. It is all one show. I have said this so many times before that we're looking at Shakespeare here. And I said it before that the streets are on fire because they're being intentionally lit. It's a huge distraction for the cases. This stuff and most of it that's being discussed, most of the things that are even in battle have nothing to do with what he's facing as far as his charges. The people involved, the accusers, the people that they talk about, they aren't even in play. It's like, I don't even understand how this even got to this point where people are threatening people's lives. People are afraid for their lives openly. I mean, it's just like, it's insanity. I don't know, Truth, if you want to come on in, but I can send you, I can put the link in here if anybody wants to join. But like, I don't know. I just feel like some of them, I feel like, are pandering to their audience. For instance, we have one, I'll just call her, I saw somebody, well, I won't say what they called her, but, she likes to, read her Bible. And then as soon as she closes the book, she likes to, sell people's information. But people like her, I believe, she plays the role that, he's innocent and he's going to be getting out with time served. And this is kind of her regular rhetoric and the narrative that she spins. Okay. It's the link. Can you, I'm going to send you the StreamYard link. All right. I'll put it right here. Okay. But yeah, but I think that a lot of it is pandering to the audience, knowing that these people have a bleeding heart for this man and they will do whatever is in their power to help them, whether it's scraping up whatever loose change they have, or, even just giving all that they have. These people are traveling to go to rallies. Okay. I got the Truth here. Hey, Ma.
Hey, guys, what's going on? How are you?
Good. Let me take this Bluetooth off. 1 second.
Okay, I'm washing dishes.
I heard that.
I cooked yesterday, and I was just tired because I went to a playoff party.
Okay.
And I was, kind of worn out, so I came in and laid down. But I knew I couldn't leave these dishes.
Right. It's all good, girl. Well, it's so good to see you. It's been a minute.
Yes.
Happy New Year and all that good stuff.
Definitely. My thoughts exactly. I think, it's been a minute. It's not intentional on both parts, but, we both are productive women, productive women don't have a lot of time.
That's right. That's another thing I always wonder too. How these people have so much time? I mean, I guess it's their life, right? This is how they make their money. This is, I mean, you know, I guess if that's the focus, it is what it is, you know, I guess.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah. It is a way to make money.
But yeah, you had I'm trying to think, what was it? I wish I didn't write it down because I have to take notes, honey. But what are your thoughts? So like I was just saying that I feel that a lot of the stuff that we're seeing on YouTube is just is one big show. It's one big, I feel, act in a sense. But what are your thoughts?
It is. You know what? I actually said that in my last commentary.
Okay.
You know, this has turned into a circus act.
Yes.
And you got a lot of clowns popping out, you know.
Right.
And what I think it is, you know, people, especially people of color, they will take any situation and use it towards their benefit. I don't care how serious, how minimum the situation may be, they will use it towards their own benefit. That we always find a way where we can benefit out of something.
Right. And that's what this is too. This is a lot of people getting benefited off of this man's name. Just like when he was out. Just like when he was out, right? The people around him were sponging off of him and you know, all of that.
Yeah.
And it's like the same thing is happening. It's just his energy. This is what he brings, I think, to the table.
Because we have to be honest with ourselves. Even though you know, we feel like he's guilty, he needs to go to jail, blah, blah, blah. The truth is, R. Kelly is truly a goat. Anything he touched turned to gold. Anything. You know, we don't recognize that, you know, God blessed us with a one-time man, a man that doesn't come that often. And I heard Beyonce say on an Oprah interview one time, she said either it could be a dream or a beautiful nightmare. You know, and that's what R. Kelly is looking at. He's looking at a nightmare at this point. And because he's the only one that's really, you know, in hot water, you know, everybody else is just taking advantage of his situation. So that's the injustice that I'm kind of focused on. I'm not thinking that the law is serving him injustice. I'm focused on the injustice. Had the police or had the authorities did something way back in the 90s when he was first reported, then a lot of this could have been avoided. That, in my mind, is injustice.
That's definitely injustice. That's also, in my opinion, it's criminal. And I feel like those people need to be held accountable. I don't care how long ago it was.
Thank you. You know, when that girl and her family, hold on one second, let me grab a pad.
Yeah, everyone needs to be held accountable.
When that girl and her family went to the police, they turned her away. They turned her away because he's definitely a goat. See, this girl that I'm speaking of, I heard Andrea speak of her, Andrea Kelly.
Yeah.
Because Andrea Kelly was telling people that there was a very, very, very little girl that he had sex with. And this is the girl that I'm speaking of. I've heard others speak of her, but not many people knows about this girl. Not many people knows about her. When we were young, when we were very, very young, a girl was in our hood telling everybody that she had just had sex with R. Kelly and she was scared to go home. And everybody was encouraging her, you need to go home, you need to go home. And somebody else who knew who she was contacted her mother and let her mother know, look, R. Kelly just had sex with your daughter. So the entire family went to the police and the police turned them away. Now, I did read about her in the indictments. She's one of the Jane Does.
Okay, that was my question. Okay. And how old was she when that happened?
She was 12. She was exactly 12.
Okay.
Yes, she was 12.
That's his age.
Yeah, and that girl was served injustice. You know, if anybody was served injustice, it was that girl, that one girl. She is the one, and I believe she's the one that's going to put him away for a long time, a very long time. You know, when that girl came into our hoods, she was broken. She was broken. she was completely broken. You know, we virgins at 12 years old.
Right.
You know, we 7th grade, maybe 8th grade. We outside jumping double dutch at 12 years old.
We should be.
You know, we asking everybody for dollars.
Wow. So Giselle, in the comments here, she asked, I want to know what your thought is on this. Shouldn't the underage girl's parents be charged with child neglect and abandonment? So this 12-year-old girl.
See, Don, and I'm glad she asked that question. I'm so glad she asked that question.
Yeah, I want it to be addressed out loud here.
See, Don, if I'm not around, you know, I have a 13 and a 14-year-old girl. And if I'm not around, if I'm at work or wherever I am, nothing gives nobody the right to insult my child or to violate their privacy.
Right.
You know, no matter how neglectful the mother may be, if she's neglectful, in fact, it's up to every individual to be accountable for their own behaviors. So no matter where the mother is, I don't care if the mother is on Staten Lake, somewhere in Chicago, wherever she is, nothing gives no man the right to violate a little girl. Nothing. You know, so just because mom wasn't around, just because, you know, who can tell me that they never lied to their mother about where they was going or where they was at?
Right.
Ain't too many women can tell me that they never, you know, said, I'm going to such and such house, but they ended up at blah, blah, blah house. Am I making sense?
Oh, absolutely. And I'm just wondering, Giselle, I don't know if Giselle, if you're still here, but I wanted to know, I'm so curious as to why this even comes up. Because to me, this takes the focus off of the predator, the criminal, because we haven't even, he's not convicted yet, right? So we're still focused on making sure he's held accountable. So at this point, that's the focus. Like the parents, like the truth just said, we don't even know what the situation was. And okay, she says, speaking of the ones that allowed their girls to go out of state on trips, staying overnight at his home. Okay.
God is, if I send my daughter, if I send her somewhere to her friend's house or on a camping trip, or if I send her to anybody's house, I don't expect for anybody to be jamming themselves into my door. Right.
Exactly. Because that's why he's in jail. That's why he's in jail. The crime is we know what the crime is, but the parents, you know, I mean, I understand where you're coming from, Giselle. And that's why I wanted it to be addressed, because I feel like that's where a lot of people hang their hat and they leave the conversation. It's not about the parents at this point. It's about the fact that this man violated these children.
But see, we try to make it about the parents. Because
I think the idea is that the parents sold the children or the child. Exactly. But that's not, I don't understand. Okay. There's no transaction here. This is more so, I mean, I can't speak for any of these parents, but I just know that as a parent, first of all, I'm not sending my child. First of all, let's just get that clear and straight. That's not happening. However, go ahead.
Guys, see, what I want people to know is there's nobody in their right mind that's going to actually send their 14, 15, 16-year-old daughter somewhere to have sex with a man. Nobody's going to do that.
But you know what? Maybe Giselle's point is that people did that. Because, you know, there are people who do crazy stuff, and they do nasty, crazy shit with their children.
Right. You know, but let's just talk about the normal parents.
Okay. Well, that's the point, is that these aren't normal parents. These parents that she's speaking of. I'm not saying that these parents are criminally. Then that's the thing too. I don't think it's a criminal foul. I think it's all parents are flawed in one way. None of us are perfect as parents. However, so I don't know. I hear what you're saying, the truth, but go ahead and finish your thought on that.
Well, my thought is this, nobody's going to send their teenage girl anywhere to be abused. If anything, we'll send them there. See, R. Kelly was a man in Chicago who was well known. You know, he was good at what he did, his craft. So everybody wants their child to be a star. Everybody wants to be a star. So what do? We send them around the star. We let them go around the star, not, you know, not thinking that this star is going to be having sex with. You know, see, Don, I went to concerts when I was a little girl in Chicago. I went to everybody's concert. Keith Sweat, Guy, Tony Tone, Ready for the World, 2 Live Crew, Run DMC. We went to all the concerts. And we did sneak backstage at some of them. But you know what? Them men sent us home. They asked us how old we was.
And you said the key word, and that is men.
Them men sent us home. They sent us home. When we told them we were 16, they told us to, Keith Sweat told us to come back when we was 21.
Yes, Keith Sweat.
He told us to come back.
He said, okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Like he was supposed to. Yeah.
Yes, he told us to come back when we was 21. So every man needs to be accountable for their behaviors.
Right.
You know.
So really there's no other conversation. And is that what your point is? Like that's really where we stop. Yeah.
Pretty much. You know, there were plenty concerts going on in Chicago. R. Kelly is not the only one that had concerts going on in Chicago.
And you know what? He didn't even stick to Chicago. He didn't got these crimes are all over. These crimes are all over.
Exactly. So that's not how concerts go. I don't want people to, you know, manipulate themselves and feel like, well, that's how concerts go. If you go and you sneak backstage, this is what they're going to do to you. No, that is not it.
Right.
That is not it. That is not how concerts go. You understand? So then my next point is everybody was seeking R. Kelly for a career. Not everybody, but majority of the people, they were all seeking R. Kelly. You know, these were girls that wanted to sing, wanted to be a singer, wanted to be famous some kind of a way. Even Dana J was seeking R. Kelly for a career in entertainment. I promise you, Don, I can't make that up.
Still is.
I can't, and he still is.
Yeah.
You know, the only reason Dana J came to Chicago is because he knew somebody that knew R. Kelly, and they told him they would introduce him to R. Kelly. And so he came to Chicago seeking R. Kelly the same exact way all of those girls did. So
I'm sure that happens. Yeah, I'm sure that most celebrities get that type of energy, right? People want to get put on.
Right, and what's wrong with that?
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. My son does music. I manage him, but I know there's lines that are drawn. However, like
exactly.
But yeah, I've seen so much I've seen things out here. I'm like, wow, you really gonna do that? Okay, you know what I'm saying? But
so Giselle are, you know, in the audience, Giselle, I don't want her to think, you know what I'm saying, that our parents are neglectful here in Chicago. I don't want her to think, you know, oh, we're just too promiscuous, so that means a man has the right to do whatever he want to do to us. I don't want her to think that that's what it is, because it's not. It's not. You know, a parent is not going to know their every child's move. I don't know my every child's move. You know, but we don't expect for anybody to be sticking their 40 and 50-year-old self into our little girls.
Exactly, especially in R. Kelly, like somebody with that type of, like, that's a big responsibility. I'm sorry, some people don't look at it like that, but that type of role that he had in his city, he should have been definitely a mentor. He could have done so many great things.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah,
and that's when this type of things, this accountability, this is on him now, because he did the wrong thing with his gifts.
Yeah,
he did the wrong thing. He was a dream killer to a lot of these girls.
Yes, exactly.
Caused a lot of trauma.
Exactly.
And you ain't gonna tell me. Yeah, and you ain't gonna tell me there wasn't abortions and miscarriages and all kinds of other, and maybe even babies out there. That we never even you know, got to know. But
we never know. We never know, guys. You know, so to blame the parents for a grown man's behavior is uncouth. That's uncouth. It's not normal. You know, you can't blame the parents for a grown man's behavior. You know, and it's time out. This is only in the African American community. It's time out for upholding wrongdoing. You know, because we love somebody, that don't mean we have to uphold their bullshit.
Exactly. If anything, you gotta really call them out even more because it has to stop somewhere. Yeah.
But see, in the African American community, we swear to God, Johnny ain't did this, Johnny ain't did that. I
just saw a post on Instagram. It said just that. It said we gotta stop this in our households, in our black households, in our black community. We gotta stop it. And somebody commented, it's not just a black thing. You know, obviously, I don't even think they were black, but
I don't have time for that. I don't have time.
Stop taking away. They're watering down the message. The message is for us. So
it's for us. It's for us. This message is for us. This is our black man that's going through this situation.
And that's the sad part of it.
This situation.
That's the other sad part, because I don't like, people come at me as if I don't have love for black men when I come from a black man. I have a black son, husband. I had a husband, a black husband. My thing is, what about the black girls? They want to act like they don't know. It's all about this one black man, but you want to trash a whole however many black girls and women for this one man because of his talent.
I was reading this book, God, it's called Belle, and it's about 17th century slavery. And in this book, it talked about how the black woman was treated. The black slaves woman was treated. And it stated in this book, the black women, since the beginning of time, has always been the most desired and the most disrespected. It said in that book, the black woman is the most desired. Men desire a black woman over anything. I don't care if he an Arab. I don't care if he a Mexican. I don't care if he Caucasian. He can be Hindu if he wants to. But every man wants a black woman. Every man.
And that's the opposite of the narrative that's going on right now in the blogs and stuff because of this whole Leigh thing. I'm gonna talk about that too. But what you were saying, it's important because what I was thinking, what you were gonna say was what Malcolm X quote, with the quote that I actually spoke in a recent video, that the black woman is the most neglected, disrespected, and unprotected woman in America.
Yeah.
He didn't say the desired part. I think that's a given. But yeah, I think that we get the short end of the stick. I mean, and then they use it to beat us with it.
Yeah. They use us to beat us with it. We're not going to be protected by anybody. The black woman is allowed to be treated any kind of way. You can't treat snowflake. No, let me not say snowflake. You can't treat a Caucasian girl the way you can treat a black girl. If you treat a Caucasian girl the way you treat a black girl, you might get criminal charges.
Oh, you definitely don't get them.
Yeah. The black woman is allowed to be treated any kind of way. So who's better to fight for a black woman other than a black woman?
That's true. And you know what? Not only are we treated any kind of way, but we're not protected, but we are the protector. We're the ones
who the protector.
Yeah, we protect our men. We protect our children. We protect the community of women in general. We stand up for all women, and we stand up in period. That the vote that happened in Georgia that we needed for the House, that was because of black women. I don't care what nobody says.
That's right.
We made that happen. The sororities that came out. We're just strong, and we shouldn't be punished for it though.
And see, this is the reason why we have YouTube channels. This is the reason why myself, yourself, Diva the Divine Light, all of these women have YouTube channels because we have to protect one another. We have to look out for one another because nobody's going to look out for us.
Are we doing that though?
We're not doing that. We hate each other. So. We hate each other.
I don't understand it.
And how do you change that? Check yourself. Make sure you're doing these things.
Yeah, I mean, that's always where you start, right? But you know, me at where I'm at right now with my personal life, I'm very accountable. I'm here spreading word on love and doing this
That's
and
right.
doing that. And I'm doing it in life because I wouldn't be doing it on YouTube otherwise. I've been doing this for decades with people
Exactly.
one-on-one. But my thing is, when I do all of that and I exhaust myself doing that, and then you come back around and you bite me, you snake me. I mean,
That's what's going on, Don. That's what's going on. But see, as spiritual women, we have to trust God. As spiritual women, we have to trust God. We can't trust what we see before us. That's why he tells us to have faith.
Yeah, that discernment.
What we see is you gonna come back and bite me if I do this for you. But let me tell you something. The other day, I had went into the gas station on my way to work and left my phone on the counter. A young black boy, his pants were sagging. He had long dreads, looked like he was probably supposed to be in school, looked like I need to wear his butt out, ran and chased me a whole block away. He chased me a block away to bring me my phone.
Yes.
Young boy. I can walk down any one of these streets. Matter of fact, my nephew and I was walking to the store and he saw what they call an op. Op is an opposition. And he told me, Auntie, this dude finna try to shoot me. What? And I'm, yeah. And so the boy did not shoot him. When I get to work at this time, I was working for Chicago Public Schools. So when I get to work that Monday, the boy came to me and told me, Miss Williams, I was going to shoot your nephew, but I didn't want to bring no harm to you.
Whoa.
Do you understand what I'm saying to you? I can walk down any one of the blocks in Chicago, and these young people, the same young people that would knock your block off, these young people respects Miss Melanie. Okay.
Well, you command the respect though, right?
And no, ma'am. What I do is I treat people good.
But that's commanding. I feel like when you walk that way, that's what you command also. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe that's a good way of looking at it.
Oh yeah, for real.
You know, but I do right by people, not worried about if somebody's gonna stab me in my back. But the thing is, when you need them the most, the people that you least expect will be there. See, our young people, we love to talk about our young people, how we say they're disrespectful and blah, 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 blah. But see, these young kids got more sense than what you think. Okay. When you give them that nasty old lady energy talking about them and that the other, they're gonna feed that back to you. But see, you want to say they disrespectful because you can't take what you've been giving them. You can't take that back. Now, what's from the heart reaches the heart. When them young people see that you truly love them and you genuinely care about them and you willing to give them good guidance, they'll respect you.
Oh, yeah.
But they not respecting these old ass ladies who keep talking about them and talking about their parents and talking about their mamas. These kids love their parents.
Right.
And you can't be talking about their parents. Who the hell gonna respect these women? The way they out here carrying on. A chick a lady not by the name of Sky Zone had me on her panel. And she had some old lady to chime in. And because they're R. Kelly supporters, the lady telling me I need to be in jail.
What?
This an old ass woman. She telling me I need to be in jail. That's the behavior that I'm talking about.
For what?
Because you know how I feel about R. Kelly.
You need to be in jail because you feel like he needs, because what?
Because I know he's guilty. I'm not willing to say he's innocent.
Because why? Because you from Chicago? She feel like that's a duty? What?
No. Anybody that don't support R. Kelly needs to be in jail.
Oh, well, that's crazy.
That's her point. You know, those are the older women that I'm talking about.
See, that means you support that behavior.
That means you support that behavior. You know what I'm saying? That's planting bad seeds out here in our community.
Exactly.
Women that behave like that and think like that, they are putting bad seeds out here in our community. And that is why these men are getting away with what they have been getting away with. R. Kelly ain't the only one who's been sleeping with little girls in Chicago. Right. All of us. When I was I had my daughter when I was 18. Her father was every bit of 40. My friend, the same story. All of us, all of them men, that's what they was doing in Chicago. Them old men was messing with little girls in Chicago. He's not the only one. He's not the only one, Don. All of them need to be locked up if you ask me.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's the thing, too. He should be that representative. So hopefully once he is, then the dominoes can just fall. You know what I'm saying? It will be a lot easier because the precedent is set with him. So
if our women, if we as women would take our heads from out of our asses, we would be able to protect. We can demand respect. We can protect each other more. We can shine a little bit more. But see, unfortunately, we're thinking foolishly.
Well, yeah, most of these women support him. There's some walk is happening, a women's walk for this man.
Now you got to be kidding me.
I'm not. One of these YouTubers, a couple of these YouTube women are doing that. I'm like, wow.
So really? Imagine, I want to take you somewhere real quick. So you say it's a women's walk going on in support of R. Kelly. Now I'm sure all of these women have children.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Can you imagine what their children are looking at them thinking?
Right. That's my thing.
Imagine what their children are looking at them thinking. Because whether we know it or not, kids look at their mom like, whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa. How could you even dare to support a man who's even being accused of something like that?
Exactly. And they want to say, well, let it play out in court. Well, you should let it play out in court too before you show this type of support.
My mama supporting the man that they say has sex with kids. Imagine what kind of thoughts is going through them kids' heads.
Right. And what's really going on with them and what's going on at their house? That's what I'm asking.
That lets me know that they will sell their children. That lets me know that they will give their children to a man like R. Kelly as well.
It's probably good they put themselves out there like that so that their neighbors and the people that they kids know can see who they are.
That's right. Because that one lady
over there. Yeah.
That one lady that paid R. Kelly's child support, that $90,000, you know, she owned the daycare center where she lived, and she lost hella clientele because of that.
Yeah.
She lost hella client. Yeah. I don't even think her daycare survived that.
I think Tasha K interviewed her recently. I remember reading or hearing that she said that the lady was like, well, that wasn't even it was my mom's daycare. I just worked there. But it don't matter. Affiliation with a daycare and supporting this man.
Yeah. Yeah, she hurt her mom's daycare.
Yeah, she did.
She hurt. You know what I'm saying? So the only thing these women are doing is hurting themselves. Because they're making people look at them side eyes. Hold on one second. Let me go grab some bleach, okay?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, she's absolutely right, though. This just shines a light on what you're okay with and what you're not okay with. And if you're okay with this and you have children and you have people around you with children, nobody's going to want to bring their kids around you.
Exactly. I wouldn't bring my child around somebody who supports the pedophile.
Hell no.
No. And then let's talk about Aliyah for a second, Don.
Yeah.
The big thing with Aliyah and Greenberg, so he claims, is that Aliyah lied about her age. That's their excuse.
Oh my God.
Okay. Don, let me explain one thing to you, young lady. R. Kelly was Aliyah's manager. There's no way a manager is not going to know the age of his clients.
He said it. Look, there's a video of him saying how old she is in the studio. I don't remember if I have it. No, I don't. But he knew how old she was. Her uncle gave him, and this is also Giselle's back. She said those are the parents I was speaking of, placing their girls in harm's way for fortune and fame. Well, what about Barry Hankerson, Aliyah's uncle? He already, I know he knew R. Kelly had issues. He was around R. Kelly before he served up his niece.
Barry Hankerson was one of the first men that R. Kelly encountered when he became a celebrity. Barry Hankerson was the first man that R. Kelly met when he went into his celebrityship. So So Barry Hankerson is not a slow man at all. There's nothing slow about Barry Hankerson, and you got to be slow in order not to see what's going on with somebody that you're working with.
So I do think he, you know, he definitely has some things to answer for too. I would love to see him on the stand.
Yeah. See, Aliyah, she passed away, and God rest her soul. But to my understanding, she has shared everything that R. Kelly did to her. She shared that with Damon Dash.
Right.
And Damon Dash stated that after Aliyah told him what happened, he said he wanted to kill R. Kelly.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, he said he wanted to kill R. Kelly after Aliyah shared with him what R. Kelly did to her. You know, and quiet as kept. I know somebody in the hood right now who reminds me of R. Kelly.
Oh, shit.
And I'm dead serious. I'm dead serious. And everybody loves him too. You better not say nothing to him.
See, and that's the problem too. That, you know, under these type of accusations, you got to let all that hood love go. You got to let that has to go out the window. You know,
that hood mentality, that hood behavior. See, all of them lies and stuff. R. Kelly got away with that 2002 trial. You know what I'm saying? That slick, that hood slick stuff. You know, you slick, you able to tell a lie and then you get off. You find ways to get off. You know, all that slick mentality. When people that's played out.
It is played out. That's why he's in jail. It is over.
Yeah, that's played out. So you can't
have to be tired.
Yeah, you can't blame the parents for his behavior. You can't blame the children for his behavior. You can't blame nobody for his behavior but him.
Yeah, people want to. That's the new narrative I'm hearing about. Wasn't him. It was all the people around him. He didn't even know. And then when he decided to cut him off, that's when he had these problems. That's the narrative I'm hearing out here.
There were people who was connected to him that warned him, man, what is you doing? Man, you gonna lose your career behind this. Man, you can go to jail for this. What is you doing? There were people who were involved with him that was against what he was doing. He didn't keep those people around, Don.
I was gonna say he probably cut them off.
He cut them off. The only people he kept around were the people that turned a blind eye, the people that act like it was all good, the people that went along with it.
Yeah, because they saw what happened to the other people.
Exactly.
And he was the one who was getting other people involved so they could have some type of culpability too, right?
Exactly. So that meant he knew what he was doing.
Exactly.
That means I'm not going down by myself. In my mind, those are your normal Chicago street thoughts. I ain't going down by myself. I'm taking everybody out with me. Yeah, those are typical Chicago street thoughts. I'm taking everybody else with me. I'm not going down by myself, and that's what's going on. And that's why he had those people to commit them acts.
And that's why a lot of people didn't want to say nothing because they're embarrassed and they feel like they might go to jail or whatever the case. What happens with that? Oh, I lost you. I guess the question I had was, what happens with people who were involved by coercion? Like, you need to do this in order to stay around me. They should go to jail too, right? I think they should, because otherwise, you know, where do you draw the line? You have to stand up for yourself and make a decision for your personal self. They should have walked away. That's the bottom line. Well, I lost the truth. I don't know if she's going to come back. But I was talking about these YouTube streets regarding R. Kelly, the YouTubers. And I just feel like I said, the one who, you know, she reads her Bible. She's back.
Sorry about that.
All good. So yeah, I was just going and just saying that we're just following up on what we were talking about. I was talking about too, when you came in, the YouTubers themselves. And I started off by talking about who I called the church lady, reading her Bible verse, and then turning it around and selling information in the same breath.
Oh, wow.
And this is what you got to do when you are listening to these people. You have to look at them like This woman is telling these people every day, oh, hi guys, he's getting out tomorrow. No, not tomorrow, but she's saying he's going to get out. He's going to have time served. He, he's innocent, and of course, and I think to say blindly that he's innocent and say blindly that he's just not going to do time, that doesn't make any sense. You can't, even if you do like the guy or whatever, like if I actually liked R. Kelly to the point where I couldn't like go against him publicly, then I probably wouldn't say anything. Instead of coming on to actually support and champion this guy and also drag the accusers, that's just not it. You know what I'm saying? Like you're actually, that looks crazy to me. Like who defends somebody to that point and you don't even know this man? These people don't know him. And if they do know him, it's because he's paying some money. He's paying money to these people. There's definitely a monetary, I think, a monetary reason for a lot of these people to even be doing this. They're getting cash apps. They're getting donations from, for these events and T-shirts. And, it just speaks to, like I said earlier, who he was when he was out of jail. People taking advantage of him, his money. He just seemed careless with his money and careless about the people he was around. But at the same time, okay, truth. But at the same time, he's still accountable for what he's being accused of. He has to face that. So I'm not going to sit here. I think I have in the past been like, oh, he's guilty, which I do believe he is. So, but I'll say allegedly, and I'll say that, he's going to go to trial and it's all going to play out. And I'm very confident, though, he's going to be convicted. So to the YouTubers out here, because there's plenty of them saying that he's innocent. There's one that came out from under her rock recently to tease some recordings that she's had because she's in this war with this other YouTuber. People call him a bum or whatever. But her motive is to take down this guy. But it seems like maybe other people are going to be exposed in the wake of this quote unquote takedown. That's what it seems like to me, because she's naming all kinds of people who he has mentioned in these recordings that she's planning on releasing. I think she's been teasing them. I don't think she has been really releasing them. I've been sent a link or two, but I still haven't really heard anything worthwhile. I personally feel like she's just using this to get her channel back up, because like I said, she's been up under a rock. And she's just been coming out with, like I said, teasing these recordings. So I don't know. She's saying that she's outside of the whole circus and that everybody's working together and that, it's real intricate the way that it's working out. They have a whole A, B, and C phase 1, phase 2, and all of this stuff. One of the YouTubers said they even have to sign an agreement, that they sign an agreement when they take on this R. Kelly support on YouTube, and that, there's rules to follow and there's chains of command. It sounds real structured and real, I don't know. It's just a collusion. It's all collusion. And again, they're just, I think, benefiting monetarily. Maybe the one guy she's trying to take out, because it seems like everybody's against this one guy. So maybe because he's getting cash apped to the point where he doesn't work and he's still getting his bills paid. And I guess, isn't that the goal for anybody, to do what they love and get paid for it? And I do personally feel this particular YouTuber is the only one who's probably honest about the fact that he's getting money from his subscribers to pay his bills and to pay his rent. And they know that. They're not blind to what they're doing. And that's unlike some of these other people who are putting events together or, whatever they're saying and doing. Most of it is lies. Like, you could tell these people are lying. Wayne is asking me when I'm going to do a reading. Wayne, I have actually been trusting my gifts a little more to the point where I don't even need my cards anymore. I mean, I still do readings, but I can download information. I don't need my cards. I can tap in. And that man is, what do you want to know? He ain't going nowhere. But yeah, this YouTuber, like I said, she came out from under her rock. She's basically saying this man is innocent. This is what she's been saying. But in the same breath, she's saying she doesn't stand for pedophilia, or she doesn't stand for anything where it comes to harming children. Where, how do you support a man who, that's all he's being accused of, is all this horrible stuff? One of the things this person said, which makes me know that she doesn't even know what she's talking about, is the question she asks is, how is it that all of these women have the same story about this man? And I guess her point is that they must have all colluded together in order to get the same story. But it's actually the opposite. It's the fact that he has a pattern of behavior that he unleashes upon everybody. And they all have the same story because they all went through the same experience, whether it was in the 90s, the 2000s, whether it was 2018, because we have an accuser in the indictments from as recent as 2018 in the Mann Act. All right. So I don't understand this person and all her bragging about herself and how she's this and she that, all this woofing she does. I mean, she is rough and gruff. And one YouTuber said yesterday or today that she's actually a man because all her kids are foster kids. I ain't said that. It was not from me. This is from this other YouTuber. But to be very honest with you, you do scratch your head because she is like, so just, she's so, we call her sandpaper. I mean, geez, there's no feminine. Where's the femininity and the, the womanhood? Where's the humanity actually? Because this woman actually said the most disgusting things about another YouTuber's child of 3 years old. And I don't even think not a woman, not even a human being could be that evil. But yet people follow her, people subscribe, people support. I mean, but yeah, she's the big bad wolf of YouTube. She'll huff and puff and blow your whole channel down. So let me stop talking about her. My point in bringing her up, though, is to say she's out on the outside saying, I'm out here. They're all over there and they're all in it together and I'm free. But I personally feel, and this is me and I'm tapping in. She is a part of it also. All of them are a part of it. No matter if they say they're not a part of it, no matter if they're quote unquote beefing with each other, no matter how horrible the things they say to each other, they are still working together behind the scenes. There's that whole behind the scenes. I know you guys hear that a lot because a lot does happen behind the scenes. There was a time where I was affiliated with people, which I've learned a lesson not to do that no more with anybody, nobody else. No. But you do, I was able to see how this thing works. There's a lot of behind the scenes stuff. There's chats, there's meetings, there's video calls and conferences. There's all kinds of stuff and plots and all kinds of stuff. You go live when they go live so that their people, it's all kinds of that kind of stuff that goes on. But at the same time, there's money in this. Let's work together. Let's take this guy out because he's taking all their money. We need that money. There's this fund and that fund and, one fund cancels out another fund. So we only, they got to take out the one person with this fund so they can get all the money in their fund. You know what I'm saying? So don't believe the hype when you hear all this stuff. There's another YouTuber. I mean, he is a literal head case. And I honestly believe his fate sooner rather than later, if he keeps up what he's doing, is going to be prison or the grave. He's very dangerous. You can look at his eyes and the way he talks. He sounds like a madman. I mean, he's literally like Hannibal Lecter. I don't understand. Like, I feel like YouTube is so loose with, like, I guess, anybody can have a channel, but the things these people say and show on their screens, the the threats that are going back and forth. And, you know, I think YouTube needs to have some type of responsibility, honestly. You know, there's that, like I said, people call him a bum because he don't work. He don't have a job. He was homeless, but now he has a place. He literally you know, he found his calling, I guess, because I guess you could say he has a gift of gab. He doesn't mind humiliating himself. He's dressed up as women to to entertain his, you know, his viewers, and he's making a living from it, apparently. You know, and he's not doing anything illegal. He's immoral as all hell, but you know. Then there's one YouTuber, I call him the confuser, because he's not only is he's confusing to look at because his eyes go in two different directions, but he lies about everything, just like the rest of them. But his lies are so blatant. I mean, he just lies. I mean, he even stole another YouTuber's car. I mean, I guess, I don't know if I guess he could say he stole it because he didn't give it back when they asked for it. But yeah, I don't even know if this guy is human either. He's just very poisonous and toxic and just bad news. He really is. I mean, the first time he came to my comments, I had my channel maybe like 3 or 4 months, and I did a video. I had some really good vlogs back then too on R. Kelly. You guys should go back in my archives if you're just checking out my channel. I did some really good vlogs on the accusers. I'm sorry, the enablers. But he came in my comments because I did a video and I found something naming him as a mole. There was, I think Don Russell tweeted something from a Facebook group. I didn't know who these people were at the time. I posted it in my video. I guess word got to him. He came in my comments, called me a bitch, called me all out my name, went off. Like, I'm like, who the hell are you? He's like, you should be asking me before you post. I'm like, who are you? I don't know who you are. It was before he even had a channel. One of his very first videos on his first channel had my name in the subject. Me since day one, another YouTuber, and Tasha K. So yeah, I was doing big things when I first came onto YouTube. So, but yeah, he just lies and lies and lies. And I haven't seen him do a lot of lives, or maybe I just can't keep up with him because he changes channels every other week. But yeah. And that's pretty much it. Those are the kind of the main players. There's another YouTuber he's actually in the middle of everything. I wasn't gonna mention him, but you know, I call him the ringmaster because I feel like he's pulling the strings on a lot of the confusion and the fighting. You know, he kind of inserts himself into people's beefs. You know what I mean? And he lies also, just like the rest of them. I mean, he's all cap, honestly. All cap all the time is what I call him. But his subscribers, I mean, they'll follow him off a cliff. So I guess the gift there is that, you know, people listen to him and they believe whatever he says because of what the tone of his voice, maybe. I don't know. Because even his actual life says that he lies a lot. He's like a con man in a sense. But, you know, that's who y'all want. So you got everything you want on YouTube. You know, you just got to be careful of how much you absorb of this stuff, though. You know, a lot of these people, they don't have any integrity, morals. I mean, they don't really, and I don't even think a lot of them really care about R. Kelly at all. I really don't think they're in it for him. I think, like I said, they're here to benefit off of him. And, you know, they're problematic people, toxic. You know, I would say just watch with caution, you know. So enough of that. So we had artist Dani Leigh or Leigh stir up some controversy. I was actually already going to do a live. My son and I were talking about this whole light skin, dark skin thing because he's very brown skin. I actually got attacked in Nosy Ho's comments. I don't know if y'all are familiar with Nosy Ho. She's a YouTuber. She's beautiful, brown skinned sister, you know, but I guess because she gets called names because of her skin tone, she chooses to come back at light-skinned people the same way. There's a YouTuber, Toxic Diamond. Y'all probably know who she is. She's crazy. However, I guess her and Nosy Ho had a back and forth. She called Nosy Ho all kind of disgusting names. And, basically because of her dark brown skin. I'm not going to repeat the names, but I'm sure you can just imagine. Well, Nosy Ho came back and basically was like, who wants to be light skinned? Light skinned people are have watered down genes, recessive genes. They've been raped to death. Their ancestors have been raped to death. Who wants that? My thing is, who's comparing traumas? Like, why are we doing this to each other? So I did comment in her video, like, girl, I love your commentary, but you got to lay off of the light skin stuff. Cause like, it's not all of us coming at you like that. And I was immediately attacked. I think the lady was one of her mods, told me to take my sensitive light skin ass on out the way. So I had to obviously come back and let her know, babe, girl, I go where I want, do what I want. And I didn't say it. I did use curse words, but I'm not going to say it on my channel because my mom will be watching. Shout out to you moms. But yeah, so I felt like, well, damn, like I wasn't even saying nothing negative. I was just letting her know, look, like, because I unsubscribed because that was like, she said this kind of thing maybe a handful of times and I cringe every time. And I don't want to listen to somebody who makes me cringe. Like, I don't want to feel like you're attacking me because I look a certain way. Like, everybody knows people, there are some light-skinned people, who think they doing something because they light-skinned, but I personally, I love who I am, honestly, but growing up, I wanted to be brown. I'm like, why am I so light? I used to like stay in the sun so much and actually achieved brown skin for a good while until I stopped going outside so much and playing. But all that to say, like, we all won. Like, what's going on? Both of my parents are Black. So, I have to keep clarifying that because people think I'm mixed. But I think there is, and Dani Leigh, let me bring her up because she's a singer, or she sing or rap. I think she just vibes. I don't even know. But she made a song called Yellowbone, which was supposed to be a quote unquote anthem for her light skins. Let's first of all say she's not even Black. So that wasn't even not even for her to do in the first place, to say of herself. Well, I mean, I won't even say Black. She's not even Afro, because I think she tried to pass as an Afro Latina, but she's not. Turns out she's a white girl. She's white. I think she's Spanish, her background, but they're white Spaniards. What up, Miss Kim? So I'm talking about Dani Leigh. Girl, you missed a lot. Gonna have to hit the replay. I did text you. But yeah, let me pull up Dani Leigh here. Okay. So this is her. And, like I said, she sparked a lot of conversation about colorism this week. But like I said, I was attacked in the comments of Nosy Ho Live's video about her, slandering light-skinned people. And I had already had the conversation because my son and I were talking about it because he heard me. It was happening while I was with him. And he's, like I said, he's brown skinned. So he was telling me, well, yeah, people do that. I used to get called this, that, and the other, but whatever. Like he's very confident and he knows himself and he's in a good place. So the stuff don't bother him anyway, just like a real dude. But this thing stirred up I told him we should go live about it, and he was down, but he works a lot and he's doing his music thing too, so he's busy. Hard for me to nail him down. But in the meantime, this came up, and I was like, well, god dang, I always have an idea to do something, and then here it comes where the whole world is doing it. What's up, Mary Blue? It's good to see you. Miss Kim, yeah, the truth was in the building. She came on screen too. I'm glad you guys there's 15 of y'all here at this wee hour. It's 2:15 a.m. here. But yeah, so back to DaniLeigh. Like we know if I don't know if everyone who's gonna be listening to this or who's listening now is a Black person, but within our community, this is a problem that we tear each other down on both sides of the coin. And I feel like it needs to stop. Like, what do we need to do to make this go away? Like, I'm just over it already. Like, I don't like being called names and this and that, but I can shrug it off because you don't know me to be calling me things and accusing me of certain things because of my skin tone. And I'm definitely not going to do that for my sisters with dark skin or brown skin. But there are people, for whatever reason, like I said, this woman or this person jumps on my comment that wasn't even directed to her to tell me to take my sensitive light skin ass on. For what? Like, why did she feel like that was? And it's funny because her YouTube name was Melanated something. So I'm assuming she was brown skin. So maybe she took offense to me telling Nosy Ho, I didn't really appreciate as a subscriber. Like, I would want my subs to say, you know what, that little comment you made, because I don't want to be turning people off and not even know that I'm doing it, or like not have, like, I want to know, like, I need to be able to look at myself also and do some self-reflection. You know what I'm saying? But I think Nosy Ho would have told me to fuck off anyway, because that's just who she is. But I was really just trying to let her know, like, I think you're beautiful. Like, I don't even know why people even do that kind of thing. And Toxic Diamond of all people, like, she's ugly. I mean, not like that, but I mean, it comes from the inside. Like, she just has, I won't want to say she's ugly. The woman has problems. She has mental issues. Like, if you guys haven't seen her channel, she has a backup channel where she puts her personal stuff and her poor child. People were threatening to call CPS on this woman because of the antics that she pulls on YouTube. And for her to go around talking about, I'm light skinned with light eyes. I mean, like, who does that? Like, who cares? You're still ugly. Like, just because you light skinned don't make you cute. And that goes the other way around too, to be honest. Like, people have beautiful brown skin, but it's make you better than anybody. And I think that's where people think, because she calling me or light-skinned people watered down is saying I'm better than you. So that's my point. We're not better than each other. We're all one. You think she's classless, Mary? You know what I'm talking about? Classless. That's a kind of a good word though. Okay, I'll take that. But yeah, DaniLeigh, she was out of pocket. People say that she did the song Yellow Bone to slight her boyfriend, the baby, the rapper, his baby's mom, because she's brown skinned. She's beautiful. But regardless of what her intentions were, she stepped in some shit. She had to come back and apologize to the Black people because, Toxic. Yeah, she's horrible. Yeah, I thought you were talking about Nosy Ho, but yeah. Where was I talking about? But yeah, so DaniLeigh did all this and she's not even Black. So why are you even doing? Like, what are you doing? Someone encouraged this. I'm sure she didn't just do this without her. She has a whole camp. She has a whole label behind her and people, and her dude. I'm pretty sure he knew she was doing this. He should have discouraged it. I feel like if she was Black, she would have known better. Like, I would have never put a song out like this for my light-skinned baddies. Like, not even in my 20s would I have done that. Like, that's ridiculous. That's really causing division. That's like already putting a spike down the middle. Kim is saying, Nosy Ho, rolling her eyes, Tox tripping, rolling her eyes. I know this much. They better leave you alone. You want to come in the stream, Kim? I had put the let me put the link in again in case you want to join. In case, it's up to you. No pressure. So Kim, people attack me all the time. It's always something. I don't mind. I'm used to it at this point. We're going into year 3 with this channel. Proud of myself for sticking with this and You know, if you guys haven't been checking out the stuff I've been doing, I have Miss Kim herself has a segment. We did 2 episodes so far, and it's called Health Talk with Miss Kim. Check that out. I also have a segment with an educator named Mr. Cobb. We talk about effective communication, and we're going to be shooting tomorrow a new episode of that. And I have a new segment coming up, a spiritual segment with one of my sisters. Her name's Goddess May. We're going to be talking about the book, The Four Agreements. But we're not doing that until actually, Kim, your birthday on February 14th on Valentine's Day. Good morning, Mr. Millington. But yeah, so I have a lot going on. You know, the boss that I am, I can't just stay stagnant. I'm not just trying to talk about R. Kelly for the rest of my existence on this channel. I am trying to spread out my branches. I'm going to be doing a career coaching segment, also mock interviews, telling people the do's and don'ts of interviews, of job searching in general, answering questions and all of that. I am a seasoned HR professional with a recruitment background, very heavy. And that's what I'm going to be doing very soon. So look out for all this stuff. And, you know, as far as my readings, like I was telling Wayne earlier, he wanted to know what was up with R. Kelly. I told him I'm not even using my cards as much because my intuition is so on point. My gifts are really kicking in since I've been, you know, just spending a lot of this quarantine time digging deep, you know, soul searching, really getting in touch with, you know, what I'm doing here and why, you know, and why I'm doing, what am I doing with this channel? You know, I'm the type of person that I like to kind of like get things done. I don't want to just like do something and then half-ass it, although it might look like it. I know it might look like it to you, but I'm really doing a lot of work behind the scenes. Here's that behind the scenes term again. But yeah, I have a big plan for this channel. I want to put different people in the mix because, you know, Miss Kim, we want to get her donations together here so we can get the equipment so she can have her own channel. A lot of the people I'm working with do want their own channel, not all of them. But I have a couple people who are working with me behind the scenes. Shout out to Priscilla, too. She's a content producer for me now. So I want to just thank everybody who's been supporting and, you know, keep doing this thing. Send me some ideas, too. If you think you want a story you want me to cover or something you want to talk about, or if you have an idea, you want to start something for yourself, hit me up. My email is in the description. I did want to touch on a story about, well, back to Dani Leigh before I wrap her up. I think what she did was trash. Whoever supported that and pushed her to do that is garbage. I feel like there's enough division in our community to be even playing around with this type of thing. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. And to be honest, if you think about it, I need to look and see who is behind her, who's her label, because that could be an agenda. I wouldn't put it past these people who, you know, run these labels and who are, you know, behind these artists to do things to cause division, do things to cause people to, you know, go to jail, put their lives in danger, get killed. And I'm talking to you, Vlad TV, because a lot of these people have an agenda to destroy us as people. And that's real. So let's see. There was a Black woman. Let me get her off my screen. And I'm going to pull up. I think this is the last thing before I talk about Aquarius season. Shout out to all my Aquarians. That means you, Miss Kim. Let me see. I'm pulling up the final story I want to talk about here. Okay, here we go. So I don't know if you guys heard about this. This woman was attacked in Harlem. She was at the store getting some wine. I think she had just gotten off work. It was like about 6 o'clock or something like that. And I'm going to go over to the article. There we go. So it says Harlem liquor store attack, shocking moment. Mom 31 brutally mauled by gang who tried to bite her eye out. And they have these graphic pictures. I'm not going to play the video, but says 31-year-old mother was buying a bottle of wine just before 6 p.m. on Monday when she was viciously assaulted by two men in New York City. And this happened in Harlem. They have video of when the attack happened. Here's a picture of her getting her wine out of the cooler. And as you can see, she's kind of surrounded by guys here. So what ended up happening, it says she was attacked. I mean, basically he offered to buy she was at the counter buying her wine. Guy behind her offered to buy it for her, to pay for it. And she politely declined. No, thank you. I can pay for it myself. Thank you, though. Well, he didn't like that. Apparently, he accused her of trying to say being better than him or better than them. And they attacked her, or one of them bit her. It says she quotes, it's quoted here, "To bite me and do that," the unnamed woman told CBS 5 days after the attack. Oh, it says Manhattan here. But anyway, it says that's an animal, not a person. The police have launched a manhunt for the culprits. I'm trying to find where it would actually happen. It says she described entering the Harlem store. So here they say Harlem, just before 6 p.m. on Monday to buy a bottle of wine after a long day at work. The two suspects offered to pay for her wine, but she politely says I politely declined. I said, no, thank you, but thank you. I can pay for it myself. The woman explained. And here's a picture of her eye. That's really looks like it hurts. Here's a picture of the guys, some of the guys. It says, and I got ready to walk out. The mom continued, before I walk out, he basically said that he felt like I thought I was better than them. The mom says she tried to ignoring them, walking towards her home when the men continued shouting and following her while asking what she was going to do. Like, what you gonna do? What you gonna do? And she was like, I just asked him, you're seriously trying to fight me? I'm trying to go about my business, the mom said. Suddenly, the men chased her across the street and began kicking her as she lay on the ground. One man then bit her forehead and left a nasty mark in an attempt to bite her eye out. And then that's when she went on to say that he must be an animal to have done that to her. And she was surrounded here outside of the store by these guys. Now, later on, after this came out, a mob went to that store. There was a mob of people outside that store. Let me finish this article. It says, during the attack, her phone fell out of her pocket. And when she went to retrieve it, one of them pried the phone. She says they pried the phone out of her hand, and he said, give me your phone, bitch. As witnesses came to her aid and called 911, someone told her to run, as one of the men had already done this to another person and was likely to return. The mom was taken to a nearby hospital in stable condition. She still can't open one eye and urged the suspects to get quickly caught to avoid her ordeal from happening to another person. Here's the information. They're saying, if you have any information, to contact the police, contact the son, contact somebody. And this goes to the video that I did the other day about the children. There were 33 children recovered from a trafficking sting. And my message in that is we got to do something about this as individuals and as a community. And that means keeping your eyes and ears open. And when something happens and something's in your eye view or earshot that is wrong, you need to report it or do something. You're not saying you need to step in, personally, because you don't want to put yourself. I think that's what actually keeps a lot of people from doing something. They're afraid. And I get that, but it doesn't harm to go and make a call 911. A lot of people, what they're doing now is pulling out their phones and recording. And we don't, that's good too, because that's how George Floyd got, the incident got put out there, because they put him on blast with the phones. But, when someone's life is in danger, you got to call 911. you know. But yeah, I wanted to shed light on that just to say, women, be careful out there. And, you know, this is a good time to take some self-defense classes. I'm sure there's online classes you could take, some virtual classes, and even carrying weaponry. Look, some people, some states y'all are in are licensed to carry. And as women, we, you know, have the right also. And I know that a lot of women are gun shy, but it, you know, you can do it and learn how to be safe about it. And, you know, maybe you're not comfortable enough. So there's pepper spray, there's tasers. You got to do something. You know, you don't want to just be a sitting duck, and maybe not go to a liquor store by yourself to get wine. That's what happened to that Toxic Diamond YouTuber that I was talking about. She had a whole video about how this woman went live after she got into a fight in a 7-Eleven buying her some Snoop Dogg wine, honey. She said that Snoop Dogg wine was calling her. The problem is it was probably, I think it was after midnight, and her 12-year-old daughter was with her. I think her daughter's 12, and witnessed this fight that she had with the store clerk. She got in live to talk about it right after it happened. She was a mess. The police came. I don't think, you know, anybody went to jail or anything, but, you know, as a woman, and she wasn't even in her hometown. She was in Vegas. I think, you know, she's not from Vegas. So she had to, like, you know, Google this to find the store. She wanted to find that Snoop Dogg wine. So she found the 7-Eleven that sold it and went into it and got into a scuffle. And the thing is that as a woman, you got to really think about what you're doing. Do you really need this wine that bad? Do you really have to go to the store by yourself? You know what I mean? Like, especially these days, man. I mean, they have Postmates. There's all kinds of services you could call to deliver you some stuff. And I understand people in their mind think, well, that's going to cost, and maybe the time is not, it's going to take too long, you know, but, you know, you got to think about, weigh it out. Like, is my life worth me going over here? I'm sure if something like that has happened in that store before, or happened from the same person in that neighborhood, you know, if you live in that neighborhood, that is some stuff going down. I'm sure you've heard about stuff going down in your neighborhood. You have an idea that it's not safe. And like Truth was on here talking about how she gets reverence as she walks around her neighborhood, but I'm sure she knows where to go and where not to go, and where she's comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I just feel like as women, you really have to use really, really good judgment when you are out and about, because a lot of these men out here, they don't have any regard. A lot of them do. And this might have been just a rare, random, you know, asshole out of, you know, criminal one at that. This person sounds like he has a history of abusing people or abusing women. So, but whether it's 1 out of 100 or 5 out of 100 or 50 out of 100 that people that are dangerous, you have to think about, do I want to bump into this person? I know that things are happening out here. You know, we got enough to worry about. We got COVID. Who's taking this vaccination? I already told y'all I'm not doing it. I don't care. They saying you're not going to be able to travel. You're not getting no stimulus checks. You probably can barely leave your house if you don't get this vaccination at some point. But guess what? I'm going to be in the house. I'm going to be in the house. And I don't get bored, so I won't be singing the bored in the house song. There's always something to do. There's always a book to read. There's something to do. If there's nothing to do, there's something to learn. Like I said, martial arts online. You know what I'm saying? Take up yoga. There's a lot of things to do. And a lot of y'all have kids too. So I'm sure your children are keeping you busy enough. Kim said people need to keep their hands to themselves. And that is true too. As much as I talk about protection, of protecting ourselves, protecting our kids, y'all need to keep your hands to yourself. You guys out there who are putting your hands on people, starting drama and mess with people, you need to stop. We already went through all the different YouTubers, but that goes to y'all too. And Kim, you're gonna have to hit the replay because you're gonna be cracking up. But I'm gonna move on to Aquarius season. It's Aquarius season, y'all. Shout out to all my Aquarians. Shout out to you, Kim. You know your birthday, and Kim is a love birthday girl on Valentine's Day. I hope you don't mind me putting that out there. She said no vaccine for her. And I'm glad to see you have weapons and mace also. So, what about the Aquariuses? You guys are amazing people. Very unique, passionate, warm. You believe in the good in people. And you really show up for the people who need you. And I can definitely attest to Kim being all of these things. She has been just a ray of sunshine for me, y'all. I do thank God, you know, that she's in my life. And because she shows up. She really does. Look at her here. She's 2:30 in the morning. She showed up. I didn't even, you know, call her. I had to tell her that I'm going live at 1 o'clock in the morning. So let's see. I'm going to do a separate video on Aquarius season, but I did want to bring up some of the things that we're going to be feeling and looking at. This is a season of ushering in change. We're shifting from earth energy to air energy. So there's a lot more freedom in the air, you know, a little more looseness. There's some alignments that are happening that reflect big change and change in the established order. And that does represent the fact that we do have a new president. We have a change in power in the presidency. There's also some hard lessons that are going to be brought because of some of these alignments too. So when you guys are getting your heads bumped, just take the lesson and move on. And if you don't know what the lesson is, just ask. Ask spirit. Go into the silence and ask spirit. This season it's putting a light on social justice. That's what Aquarians are about too, about justice and about the collective versus the individual. So it's more about, you know, the people in your life and the people who are supposed to be in your life. You might be meeting some people this season or meeting a person. If you're single, you might, you know, even meet a love match if you're out there like that. Some of y'all are online dating. I know you swiping left. I know you are. But yeah, there's a whole collective energy where we're building resources and we're sharing resources as a collective. Or this is something that is going to be starting if it's not already happening. And yeah, this season represents freedom of expression without as much restriction. We've, you know, had coming out of a season of restriction and rules, and now we're coming out of that in this season. And it can be troublemaking energy when some other alignments happen, which I'll go into in my separate my separate video. But tension and rebellion is going to be in the air, and, you know, also energy of hostility and resentment. A lot of us, and this could be why I'm doing this live, a lot of us are holding things in a lot because maybe you're quarantining or you're at home with people and, you know, you don't want to, you're tired. You don't want to argue. You don't want to fight. You just don't say anything. Well, that gets old. You know what I'm saying? You want to start speaking up, right? So there's going to be a point, and this is the season for it, to speak your truth, to stop holding stuff in, and to finally have that sit down, to finally have that face-to-face about whatever your issues are. You know what I mean? The time is now when it comes to being truthful about yourself. You want to be true to yourself as much as possible, and you have to speak your truth when it comes to that. You can't just go along to get along and be your true self also. That don't work. Step away from the herd. Let them jump and fall off the cliff. Don't go with them. Speak up, like save yourself. If you can't save, you can't, you can't always save the whole herd, right? You can try, but before they go leaping off that cliff, stand your ground and stay true to yourself. And Aquarius season, that's what that's about, being unique, being who you are versus who they want you to be. We see a lot of that on YouTube, right? We see a lot of, I was talking about that when I was talking about all the different YouTubers that are on the scene and all the stuff that's going on, that some of these people, they keep their subscribers because they tell them what they want to hear. A lot of these people are devastated about R. Kelly being in jail. They can't stand it. And there's people who are pandering to that. He's innocent and he's getting out. His lawyers are doing, all this work, and I'm getting all this insight. And I talked to R. Kelly, he sent me a message and he said that, not to worry. And he's not bothered. And, they're going to tell these people what they want because they want donations. They want cash apps. They want the subscribers, and the subscribers are going to keep coming back for that good news. That's really fake news, because when that man goes to trial again and again, the first time, the second time, the third time, there's going to be convictions. All of that stuff might not go through the wash, but some of it will. All right. And that load of laundry is going to keep him behind bars. Period. So I think that's going to do it for this particular live. I appreciate y'all hanging with me, and like, share, subscribe, comment. I'll catch y'all next time. Peace. Oh, Militant is asking, what's up with Joycelyn? Joycelyn, if y'all are still here, I wanted to address Tasha K. Tasha K did a video on her Patreon, which I guess she's doing to get, obviously money. It's a subscription account. She talked about the fact that she said Azriel is back talking to R. Kelly, is back with R. Kelly, is not going to testify against R. Kelly. She even alluded to the fact that he could possibly be getting out. And she said Joycelyn has a job, and Joycelyn is going to be getting married to him when he's released. I believe that's what she said. All of that is lies. I'm going to tell y'all, you can take, and I'm not telling you this to pander. I'm just telling you, don't believe that woman. We know she lies. First of all, she's admitted to lying. So I don't even know why people still follow her. She's still climbing too, as far as her subscribers. She's almost at 1 million from what I understand. But I don't know what her purpose is. I personally do feel she's on that payroll. Whoever all these other people are on the payroll for, like I said, they've said they're signing agreements to be these R. Kelly YouTubers. They're going through initiations and phases and rules. There's a lot of stuff going on. And I think Tasha K is a part of that pack now. She's kind of struggling. Well, it doesn't look like she's struggling, right? Because her numbers are climbing and all of that. But don't forget, y'all, people buy these numbers. They do. And also, don't, just because Tasha K said it and because she has a lot of followers and a big platform doesn't make it true. She was at one time getting inside information from one of the fathers, right? And I think it's known that they're no longer in that same relationship. So maybe she's, and I also think we know that Azriel did not go an interview with her on her channel, did she? I think she's a little bitter and a little resentful. And I think she plays dirty. And so I'm just guessing as to why, but definitely don't buy what she's selling. It ain't true. It ain't true. It ain't true. And as far as Joycelyn is concerned, Joycelyn is still on her own, meaning not with her family and with handlers or a handler or more than one of R. Kelly's. She's still under R. Kelly's thumb. So that's where she is. She's still with him. She's, going by his rules and with that being said, she ain't got no job. She does not have a job. Don't believe that. How do you think Joycelyn could get away with having a job with the type of notoriety she has in that city right now because of what's going on? First of all, is she even capable of a job? What type of job is she doing? Because I think mentally she's not in a place. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like she would also be fearful to just be out and about like that. Because do you think she's safe? I don't. I think she's not safe. And I don't think any of these girls are safe. I don't think Azriel's safe. You know, I know she's out there doing her thing, but I really do pray that she stays safe and careful about her surroundings. Because just like this liquor store story I just talked about, imagine something like that happens into an Azriel with her young self, just not even thinking, you know, her and her friends hanging out, going to get something from the store. And something like this happens. Like, it's scary out there, you know? So I hope that answered your question, Wayne. Wayne wants me to do a reading. I might do one. I'm going to activate this membership channel at some point. And when I do, that's where all my readings are going to happen. That's why I kind of been holding back too, because I want to wait. But yeah, she's still under his thumb. So I think I'm going to end it here, y'all. I appreciate you. Till next time. Peace.